With such big news overnight about the possibility of a government in Israel, I thought I'd take a few minutes to provide you with a quick update. Israel's had 4 elections in 2 years, and it looked like the most recent one in March was going to end in another stalemate. Prime Minister Netanyahu had his chance to form a coalition and failed, so the mandate fell to opposition leader Yair Lapid to try and have a go. After almost a month of negotiations, with the 12-day surge in violence in Israel, Jerusalem and Gaza right in the middle, last night Lapid presented signatures from party leaders to Israel's president announcing that he's able to form a governing coalition. Now here are the main points you need to know. While all this means Israelis are closer to a government and being able to avoid a 5th election, it's not a done deal just yet. Lapid's coalition has to pass a confidence measure in the Knesset next week, and Netanyahu will be doing everything he can to undermine it, to steal members of the coalition away to his own side and undo all of Lapid's work. Naftali Bennett, Netanyahu's former chief of staff and a former defense minister in his government, will serve as prime minister first before it rotates to Yair Lapid in 2023. Now this is remarkable. Even though Lapid has more than double the number of seats and held the mandate to form government, Lapid prioritized getting Bennett on board. No mean feat, given how closely he's been associated with Netanyahu and his bloc his entire political life. He prioritized that over his own personal ambition to become prime minister. Next, the coalition will be probably the most politically fractured in Israel's history. They agree on really only one thing, that the Netanyahu era has to end. The parties in the coalition include the secular centrist Yesh Atid, Benny Gantz's Blue and White Party, the Likud breakaway New Hope led by Gideon Sa'ar, the right-wing settler party Yamina, the nationalist-Russian Avigdor Lieberman-led Yisrael Beiteinu party, the Labour Party, the left-wing Meretz party, and the Islamist Raam party. If the coalition goes ahead, this will be the first time an independent Arab party has signed a coalition agreement and entered the government. And that's a point worth emphasizing. Normalizing the involvement of Arab Israelis in the mechanics of government is a watershed moment in Israeli democracy. The photo of Mansour Abbas, the leader of Raam, signing the agreement with Yair Lapid and Naftali Bennett will make headlines in Israel and around the world. His main win in the negotiations will be changes to the Kamenetz law, which aggressively targets illegal building in Israel, which disproportionately affects Israel's Arab citizens, particularly Raam's base of Bedouin voters in the Negev. Whether that law is paused, annulled or amended, we're still going to have to wait and see. We'll keep you updated over the next week. That's when we expect a vote in the Knesset to confirm the new government. Even after that, given how little these parties agree on, it's unclear how long the government will actually last. Netanyahu undoubtedly has a bag of tricks up his sleeve to try and stop it. Not only does his political fate as prime minister rely on it, but it's also tied in with his legal fate as his trial on corruption charges progresses in a Jerusalem courtroom. This isn't the end of the Bibi era, but the news overnight has certainly pushed it along. Stay tuned to our social media channels. We'll keep you updated as best we can. Thanks for watching.